Talk about getting paid more for the same work. Okay, paid more for the same work. Would anybody, I don't know, throw a 130 in the chat if you'd like to make more money for the same work. Throw a 130 in the chat if you'd like to get paid more money for the same work. Not more work, get paid less, none of that BS. I'm talking about you do the same, you get paid more. Now, again, I would recommend that you just do more. But if you put these strategies into place, then they're really going to make some money. Okay, really going to make some money. Gino, art thou out there, brethren?
What's up, man?
It seems to be you and your bank account, according to what you told me just a second ago. Seems to be you. You want to talk about what you did yesterday on those bonus leads, as well as um, writing top comp carriers? Could you talk about that?
Yeah, of course. Gino Locklear direct to Jordan Hunt. So grateful to be so. I came into the first half of my day, Luke, was pretty much admin stuff, recruiting, stuff. And then my appointment started at 3 o'clock. And so I had 7 appointments yesterday. One was a hard no. No, two were no's. Can you believe somebody told me no, by the way? I was like, what in the heck is wrong with these people? Like, do they not know who I am?
Must not have been a
And
Zoom call.
I'm telling you. And so I had two people tell me no. I had one no show and one reschedule. And then I had three clients that allowed me to help protect them and their families. And that was for 6 applications. So both husband and wives on all three clients got approved for coverage. Um, and we went with all quality products, so I wrote, SBLI for my term products, that pays top comp, so, that was 120%. I like that. And then we look at American Amicable QSFP for the other four. And so that was pretty good. So to be able to have 5 grand worth of and it's just crazy, Luke. You got 5 grand worth of products, and that pays 120%. So yesterday was about 40, a little less than $4,500 in an income day, right? On a Monday. On a Monday. But and I put this in the Hunt channel. Sorry guys, who's not a part of the Hunt Club. Is what it is, right? But I put it in the sorry, Devin. I saw it. I saw it. But I put it in the Hunt Slack last night, and I'm just talking about how grateful I was of this company, to be able to. And I put my schedule, like I really got my schedule together, Luke, because I kind of felt like I was all over the place, where I wasn't. Like it was really taken away from like my time with Isabella and Danielle. So like I sat down and I put together a schedule, and I was like, this is where I'm going to be. Like she knows where I'm gonna be at. I know where I'm gonna be at. And dude, like to be able to have dinner with Danielle that was scheduled, like that was it was scheduled. Like to be able to have dinner with her, be able to have it scheduled where I'm taking care of the baby from 6:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock in the morning. Like it was crazy. So to be able to be a completely fully engaged and present father and dad yesterday, but also be a badass at work, like that was that was pretty cool.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty. I thought we were talking about getting paid more. You're talking about fulfillment and stuff with calendar, and that's all good. That's so good. That's
I
so
want I
good.
want to I want to get paid in all areas of life. And yesterday it
There we
happened.
go.
Yeah.
You got top comp. That's quality time, but from 6:30 to 9, that's my designated spot as well. Mine's more like 5:30 to 8, but that's because he sleeps till 6:30. You know what I
Man.
mean? Because that extra hour would probably
No,
kill
but
me.
those top comp products, man, I'm telling you, like leverage them. And I was I'll be the first one to tell you, Luke, like I'm a Marico like through and through, like die
Mhm.
on the hill for them guys. But I just wanted to lean in a little bit, get out of my comfort zone. You're talking about going from a product. And like and not this isn't throwing anything negative against any other carrier out there who don't have a quality product up under their belt, but they need to fix it. But to go from making 95% or 100% on a whole life product when I'm at 120% to just turn around and get straight 120% and get the client. They got preferred plus. Preferred plus. Like they covered, right? And so it was pretty cool. And now I got to call them back today. They want me to take all their Transamerica policies that they have life insurance with a couple years ago and put them with QSFP again. Another, and they're paying almost $300 a month.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. God, dog.
You know what we like to call that? Shmoney.
I'm about to call
Money.
that
Small money.
How to Make 8 Grand in 2 Days by Gino Locklear. You know,
The goal is 10K in 2 days. But if you do want to see it, go to my Instagram and look at the highlight. It shows you how I make 10K in 2 days. Everybody can.
minor plug. Minor plug. What's the hardest part? Like everybody throw your favorite carrier to write business with. Gil, I know yours is Foresters. You don't like to get paid. That's all right. Just kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. Right? Same with that. I love Forester. I love Foresters too. They've gotten so much better over the years. You know, I used to just submit policies with Foresters on clients I didn't like because I knew it was going to get declined. Didn't have to call them back. Let me stop. I love Foresters now. They pay me weekly, right? Weekly. Um, so I got F&G for Brandon, UHL right now. I bet it is, Simeon. I mean, they pay quite well. Still don't understand. We should just bug the hell out of UHL. How do we not have QS, what is it? What is it? QFFC in North Carolina? Like, help me understand. Walk me through.
I was told it's due to the DOI. That's what I was told.
No, what it is, what it's due, I'll tell you what it is that there's one product in that chain that we can't write in North Carolina. It's the guaranteed issue or the 2 year waiting period down to 25 years old. We would never write that in the first place. Just take it out of the line for North Carolina. You know what I mean?
No, put it in the line where we can use it. It's only 4 health questions and it pays incredible.
It does. It does. It does. It does. It's fair. See, I got to listen to Gino more. Um,
Exactly. Simeon, 5 points behind. Imagine writing a guaranteed issue that pays you 5% less of your comp.
It's not guaranteed though. I want to be clear. Their
It's
guaranteed
close.
issue is less than AIG. I want to be
It's
clear on
close.
that. It's like I think it actually costs money to write their guaranteed issue product. Like that shit is expensive.
It is.
Like I think it costs me money to write it. I don't never understand it. But all right, we got a lot of good carriers in here. For me, I don't know. I feel like we should follow the company here because Americo is easy. It's easy. It's also incredibly easy to replace. Does anybody know what the first page of an American Amicable application says? Anybody know what the first page says? I accidentally had like 17 sent to my house one time, so I know. Okay. And it says before you make any changes, I don't, it basically says like call your agent before you make any changes. Call your agent before you call us. Call your agent. Here's their number. I love that. I rock with that. Okay. Don't trust another agent that ain't yours on this policy. Like they work in our best interest to keep stuff on the books. Now people will still can it. I want to be clear, right? Like chargebacks happen as part of the game. However, I like working with clients I'm sorry, I like working with insurance companies that kind of have my back. Sometimes it's easy in and easy out. I like the extra steps in the LGA banner product. I do. Why? Number one, most of the time, well, back in the day, they would have to put their banking info in. How you gonna cancel a policy you put your banking info in? You know what I'm saying? Like you putting it right to the second largest insurer of term products in America, LGA Banner. Actually, in the world, because I think they're a European company. I could be wrong. Right? Why did you go SPLI instead of instead of LGA, Gina? I'm
So
just
I'm
curious.
I so I'm not gonna lie. So I knew they were going to update the banking information where we were able to get access to it to upload it. I could not remember when they done it. So I was like, I'm not about to deal with that tonight. I'm just gonna go straight to SBLI. So that's why. And if Audrey or BZ heard this, they would probably stab me in the throat. But it's true. But is it updated? Is it now available to us, or
I
is
have
we
no
still got
idea.
a little bit?
I have no idea.
Yeah. So
I usually multitask
and
in
yeah,
that
and
part of the national
SBLI now
broadcast.
has living benefits. They don't have all three yet, but they do have critical and terminal.
They got chronic and terminal.
Chronic and terminal. Yeah.
Yeah, I did hear that part, but that was at that's because that was
Was
at
updated last Wednesday. Thanks, Devin.
So would you write a lot of yesterday? I mean, a lot of critical period, a lot of like tell us
Yeah.
about your clients yesterday if you don't mind. Like I know this sounds
So
very like, man, how are we going to get benefit from this? But if Gino can explain the conversation, how it went, why we went there, maybe you
yeah.
guys will understand how simple it is to sell this stuff.
Yeah. So when I was down, so I'm working. I personally, this is a choice, but I personally work only CIB leads. Could I be working A leads at the moment, Luke? Yes. The reason I do it is because we're just onboarding a lot of new agents, and I want to stay as close as I can to them.
Mhm.
Because I don't want any of my new agents to be like, "Oh, these leads don't work." No, you don't work, right? And so I can hear all the objections that these agents are getting on these bonus leads. And so two of the clients yesterday were replacements. And so they had got policies with other agents outside of Symmetry. And they were just overpaying for coverage. And so they one of them had a 6 month equity protection program, one of them had a 1 year equity protection program. And I just told them, I was like, hey, like we're gonna work on this, on that first original phone call. We're gonna make sure we can get it cheaper. We don't want any of our homeowners spending more money than they have to. And so we got on that call. We went to work. We found it cheaper. We got them approved, and we went with QSFP for all of them for the 4 out of the 6 applications. And then the other one, the other family was a full mortgage payoff. And so we went with SBLI for them. They were a younger couple, believe it or not.
I bet I bet it was far cheaper with SBLI.
I mean, like a couple dollars. It was like, yeah.
Okay.
Were you talking about replacing? Well, they weren't a replacement client. They
Oh, they
didn't have,
weren't okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Only 2 out of the 3 clients needed to get replacements.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all the ones that replaced were critical period.
Yeah, 6 month and 1 year. And you're gonna find that, like, especially when you're working bonus leads, it's really good to be able to learn how to control that conversation where it's like, hey, I already know you got coverage. Congratulations, right? Our job is just to make sure that you're not overpaying for it. And I always like to use language like our homeowners, like we don't want them spending more money than they have to. And I always use that strong assumptive language, like, "Hey, I'm going to work on this over the weekend, and I'm going to make sure that we can get that cost, down for you guys. And then once we get you approved, we get the other one canceled. That way, they're not charging you anymore for it."
Could you role play with somebody on that? Hell, you can role play with me, but I'd just love to hear how you do it. I know you do it live in Macrim, so
Yeah.
they missed it. That ain't necessarily our fault, but
Mhm.
just for the recording's sake, could you kind of go over how you do that?
Yeah.
We can start from ring ring if you like.
Yeah. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, Luke.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Gino Locklear here in town with your mortgage loan at Rocket Mortgage for the 120,000 over on 123 ABC Street.
Uh-huh. What about it?
Yep. Our office had sent you out a pink or possibly a yellow, had to be a pink or yellow postcard. It was a few weeks ago. You like that, didn't you?
That's good.
Pertaining to the insurance for the mortgage loan here. Should you, pass away or get sick, the loan will be taken care of for you and the family. And they just had me calling just to make sure everything that we got back from you was still correct, so we can go ahead and get those options back to you on Monday. That's all.
We already got that, Gina.
Are you, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page. You're talking about the insurance that's in addition to your mortgage payment, not the one that's added in your mortgage payment, right?
Yeah, we had a guy call us about a month ago, actually. We just got
Okay.
our policies in the mail, I think last week.
Okay. Is there, by any chance, do you know if they were with our company? Just out of curiosity. Because, and the only reason I ask is because we've had a bunch of our homeowners say that they've been getting phone calls from third parties, which at the end of the day, if you get approved, that's fine. We want to make sure our homeowners are covered. Do you know the name of the insurance company that they got you approved with?
I think one was American like AIG. and then the other one, I think it was like Aetna, maybe.
Okay. So that I don't know if that. So AIG, American Insurance General, they're also known as Corebridge now. That's definitely one of our carriers, but Aetna is not. So I'm not sure if that was from our office. And again, if it wasn't, it's fine. At the end of the day, you're covered. So God forbid anything happens to you, your family's taken care of. On my end, my job is to figure out what happened because whenever you get put on my desk, Luke, that just means one of two reasons. Either our office hasn't been able to get in touch with you, or we were able to get you approved, but the agent didn't update your request, right? And so it sounds like you already have coverage. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Did we get you the full mortgage payoff, the partial, or the program where it takes care of your mortgage payments like 6 months, a year,
We got yeah, the last one.
the equity protection?
Hmm.
Okay. I mean, that's one of our best policies anyhow. So congrats on being able to get approved for that. Um, okay. So you got American General and Aetna. Did you do the 6 month, 9 month, or 12 month?
I think we did. I'll have to remember, but I think we did 18 months on me and like 6 months on my wife or something.
Okay. Do you know roughly how much you're spending a month for those programs? I'm pulling it up now with the carriers just to kind of figure out what they charge you guys for it. Do you know how much you're paying a month for it?
I think it's like 200 bucks or something for me, and then like 50 bucks for my wife.
Really? That doesn't sound right. Let me check. And you've done the 18 months on you?
Yeah,
And you're only 58, right? 59?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do just to be safe. I'm actually just gonna work on this over the weekend. Now that I kind of got an idea of what you guys got, I'm gonna work on this over the weekend because the last thing that we want, Luke, is for any of our mortgage homeowners here to be paying more coverage, to be paying more money for their coverage than they have to, right? I mean, I'm sure you can agree. A dollar saved is a good day, right?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that we work on this and we get this fixed because I don't want you guys overpaying. And so I'm gonna call you guys back Monday with what I found, and if we're able to get the coverage lowered, we'll go ahead and get that taken care of and get it fixed for you guys.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, and then we just book the appointment. But what I found out, Luke, is using that word fixed. They're like, oh yeah, this guy's working for me, right? Where they just know that, oh, I'm gonna fix this. Yeah, yeah, I am. I'm gonna fix this. We're gonna get this fixed.
It just insinuates that something's effed up, you know? So we
Exactly,
gotta we gotta
exactly.
fix it. I'm not a
And
repairman,
so, I
but we
mean,
can fix this.
if you look at my client yesterday, it was one of the husband and wives. The one that I had to call back, and so they had their mortgage protection insurance with Transamerica, and had their life insurance with Transamerica. We went from Transamerica to QSFP, and we saved them, I think, like $35 a month on their equity protection coverage. Like $35 a month for our families that are living, on a fixed income, like that's a big deal, right? And now they saw that. So and here's what I've also been doing, Luke. And I have been missing the boat. I told Danielle, like, I have been missing out on so much money. Because usually I'm just in and out, and I know a bunch of people on this call are the same way. You write the app and you're out. Well, I've been slowing down at the end. I done it yesterday for the first time in my career, and I started letting them know everything else that we do. But I formed it in a way where I was like, "Hey, I do want to let you know that we do have some other programs for our homeowners here, right? We're able to do different things for you guys as long as you're homeowners with our office. And so we have programs called like debt-free life. We have retirement protection, and we also do special things for families life insurance. Now I will tell you this, Luke, majority of our clients, they already have life insurance. And so what we let them know is when they become a client with our office, we're able to shop around for them and get them cheaper rates other than what they could get outside of us, which is true because we have proprietary products, right? And so I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to help you, but I know you mentioned you had life insurance. Who do you have your life insurance with? Oh, we have it with Transamerica. Do you know how much coverage you have? Yeah, we have this certain amount. And how much are you paying? Well, we're paying, and it was like right at $300 a month. And I was like, would you like me to see if I can get it cheaper? Yes, please do. So I got to call them back today. We're going to call Transamerica and figure out exactly what they got because they couldn't remember. And then I'd done the same thing on that younger client, the SBLI clients. And I said, this may not make sense. It's not for every client because they have to have a certain amount of debt. But we have a program called Debt Free Life where we can get you out of all of your debt inside of 9 years or less without having to spend more money than what you're already spending. And then I told a story because stories sell, facts tell. I told them about my 28 and 29-year-old client 2 weeks ago, who they were scheduled to be out of debt in 29 years and 9 months. Now they're going to be out of debt in 9 years and save $173,000 in scheduled interest. And the husband was like, "Yeah, I want to learn about that." And so we booked a FIF reset for him. And so this week I'm already at two FIF resets in a week, and I never do those. So I was like, "Man, we're about to start getting 5 to 10 a week." And it's just because they're slowing down to speed up. And I'm just like, man, like, why have I not been doing this? Because people who buy life insurance. And so when they're already your client and you're like, hey, like we may be able to help in these other fashions, like it doesn't cost you anything to learn. You may be able to find something that can help better your future. And so I was like, what have I been doing with my life?
What's here's the key to what Gino just said. You can write down, listen, this will be on YouTube at 1 o'clock today, and you can listen to it 1,000 times. And you can write down exactly what he says. You can pause it every 2 seconds, like I used to do with SoundClouds. But if you don't say it the way that he just said it, where he was so disconnected from the outcome, like, did y'all hear that? Like, was it just me? Like, I know I got big ears. I don't know if I can hear different things or just more or like further away. I don't know. But what I just heard was, I mean, we'll see if we could help you on it. Like, we offer it. Like, he didn't care. Like, he just cared about them. He didn't care that they went with it. And a lot of people, they start seeing dollar signs and
Mm,
all of a sudden their pitch changes. We talk about this all the time. I talked about it at a conference. Their pitch changes, their tone changes, their speed changes, even like their vocal heights change. And they hear that discrepancy and they trust you less.
hmm.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay. Anything you want to say in closing, Gino? This has been fantastic, buddy.
I mean, just stack a bunch of opportunity, in for yourself. If you can't really like you can't be successful here if you're only going into the week with 4 to 5 appointments. And I get it, you may be brand new or you may be in a mental block where you're like, I can't do more than that. I promise you can. I promise you can. We kind of talked about it yesterday with just hours and activity. If you're putting in the work and you're doing the dials and you're doing your training and you're doing all the things that you should be doing, like you're gonna start to see that level of success, but you can't do it when you're playing small, or playing scared. So play big and play bold and, be okay with failing. Because when you start stacking that many appointments in your favor, I mean, it's hard not to lose here, so that's the only thing I would say is like get to a point where you're putting 15, 20, 25, 30 appointments on your schedule every single week.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's
Last question, G. Sorry to cut you
just
off.
work.
Do you run? I saw Devin Nicola's question in the chat. Do you run? I mean, obviously, you're going to run that appointment a lot differently on a
Mhm.
replacement, correct?
Essentially, yeah. Mhm.
Starts kind of the same.
It starts the same, but you're not having to go through the entire real script. I mean, like they already know what we're doing. We're getting a better program. So I mean, I mean, you're going into the application within 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you build more rapport through it, before, but
Yeah.
you don't really have to, and you're saving them $20 a month. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Because that conversation is just like, hey, like we're like they already believe in the product. They already bought it. Like they already know what they're getting. And now they know that when you showed up to the call, you're about to help them get cheaper insurance. There's no need to beat around the bush. They already know what the gameplay is. This
Yeah.
guy's gonna help me get a better policy.
Yeah, assume it. It's not asking, do
Yeah.
you want to? It's you just do it,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know? So have a great day, guys. Appreciate you, G.